This is your daily market review for Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at DXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. Hopefully you're having a good day. As we've talked about, markets are, data, jobs numbers, big earnings, told bulls, told bears, kind of warn everybody. Just, again, if you're bullish or you're up, less your own. If you're bearish, define your risk. Just be prepared for what's potentially some interesting after market news. AMD earnings, again, whether you really believe they're good or not. I mean, look year over year, they're down huge, but it's a beat. But sequentially, market is up. AMD's up. Will it last? We'll see. Fitch downgrades U.S. debt. And this is the thing I want to talk about real quick. There's a small, tiny rant. There's a rule in trading, which I tell people all the time. The more you're up, the less you own. I'm doing this for 23 years. Things come out of nowhere. When the consensus is that, say, for example, which, I think a lot of people agree on that, hey, Apple will be the top, or Apple will kind of lead the market to some blow off, or Apple news, they'll beat, the market will pop, then I'll sell, or whatever you want to change the ticker. Maybe it's NVDA in a week or so, or whatever there are. But this consensus, you got to be very careful with consensus. When the consensus of something is everybody, and everyone agrees, be prepared for it not to happen, because the market is very good at knowing that everybody's all in or all out once the consensus is agreed upon. Now, again, it doesn't necessarily mean it dumps or goes higher that day and the trap forms, but traps can take weeks, sometimes even months. So just warning folks about that. And so if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room. Link is in the description below. We'll talk more about this as we go through the evidence. If you're newer to the channel, again, check out X. I'm still going to call it Twitter. Posting a lot of interesting charts, thoughts, plans. Keep an eye on it. If you're new to the channel too, check out the YouTube channel. Live chats here and there. I'll probably do one here Thursday or Friday. Been a little busy moving out of current property into investment property. Long story short, yeah, been a little busy. Subscribe, notification bell, when these alert reviews come out, and also live chats. Check out thetradingagent.com. As we've talked about, tons of videos here from beginner to more advanced. Back to basics series. The beginner stuff is at the top of the page. More advanced to get lower. And also, too, if you want to get that 5.15%, you're going to love it. I'm telling you. I actually like Marcus. As someone who's been in banking and finance, I think this app is slick. They do a 3-month referral, and then it's easy to share. The app is slick. Again, as somebody who likes tech in the sense of what it's good for at times to make you more aware, more thoughtful, more understanding what's going on. Awesome. So Fitch after close, let's see if that changed the Fed fund futures, because again, they're downgrading debt because, there's a problem here. We can't sustain higher rates. Inflation is a problem. Like debt, government debt, global government debt. This is what I'm warning people. Like this, after hours, the plunge protection team could step in and stabilize futures, pop the market, or you could absolutely start what I consider a domino effect of markets dumping. Now, a lot of people necessarily won't want to hear that, but that's the reality. I mean, that literally could be what follows here. A huge market meltdown, because all the other countries now have to be on red alert for what? Their own debt downgrade. Do you not think Japan at any point, debt to me is trash? China, trash. Europe, trash. I mean, who knows how aggressive this will be, but is this part of the game? Bitcoin. Said watch the lower 28s. It doesn't seem to be acting great. I mean, oil, we talked about potentially getting up to what? Mid 80s. Oil's had a really good run. If I was bullish oil, there's another secondary little area. I can't draw. Come on, draw. Rectangle, please. Let's see if it draws. Why can't I draw? Why is this so hard? Did I get booted off? Do I have to No, give me the drawing. Why can't I draw? Anyway, but you guys see it. There's clearly some interesting area here. What the hell is going on? Why is it? Okay, give it to me. There's clearly an area here right in the 80 area. Just notice that. I'm tired of drawing, not drawing. keep an eye on it, because I would not be surprised by any means if we backed off here. Still could go higher. I don't know. But again, more you're up, less you own. Hopefully people learn that lesson. Natural gas going nowhere fast. Keep in mind, like, look at what's going on, because this is the thing about the data today. I mean, with a strong week, whatever. I mean, you can play the game as you want, but what have we said? The dollar matters. Volatility and dollar and bonds matter. Well, you're starting to get volatility in both. What are you noticing about the dollar? It's getting over the 200-day. If we can sustain over it, dollar's going higher, y'all. Or this is like a doji trap. Very important inflection day. Keep an eye on what happens the following days. TLT. Told people to wait. Look for retests. Look for an actual break of the channel lows. Why, Dan? Why? Right? That's what you get sometimes, is you have these secure what seem like channels. Everybody keeps buying the dip, but the market makers are going for the big liquidity. Well, gapping below range lows does what? Unlocks the liquidity. Could it be a couple-day trap, then fail? I mean, if you've watched bonds before, here you go. Here was a range. We went over it, fail, below, then rally back. I mean, that's one of the things about traps. The same thing, you've seen it on the 10-minute chart. Here you go. Here's a clear, identified range high, breakout, failure. So it's a repeating pattern. Like, it's just one of those things where I told you, like, if you wanted to buy in the low 90s, awesome. Did I say low 90s? Upper 90s, awesome. But define your risk and don't go all in, because why? I said at some point you'll get a retest, potentially. And if you didn't, great. You had a good cost entry, but you saved some bullets. I know some people are pulling the trigger today. I don't blame you. Makes sense. Look at liquidity. Even though the big red candle, don't be surprised if it goes a little lower. Said the mid-90s. Like, save some capital here. Like, this is the thing about traps, is that if you can get in with them, then, and it reverses, the action should be quick, right? Like, you're going to have good price action in time. VIX, watch. The Thursday, I said this over and over, watch this. Go with. VIX goes higher, market's going lower. VIX goes below 13, it's probably going to chop around. VIVIX, talked about this, holding the range lows, holding. Look at this candle. Keep an eye on it. Go with. SPY, again, bulls, bears, all confused. Watch the Thursday candle. This is all just inside action. It doesn't matter, in my opinion. And also be a red alert. If we go higher, watch the close. Is it a trap? Q. Right? Here you go. 20-day. Keep an eye on it. Lower highs. Something that has been leading now is lagging. Red alert. IWM. We talked about double toppy. Keep an eye on it. The 199 area. DIA. With Caterpillar up so big today, you'd think it'd be stronger. No, just chop. Chibbity chop. And you're also up against some reference areas, right? No, whatever. You can zoom out. Gold. Told you so. I mean, dude, I love gold. I've been trading this stuff forever. It's so predictable. July rallies, seasonal, fall, late summer dips. Here you go. You're getting it. Silver, again, silver and gold look better than miners. And the miners' problem is if they don't look better or good, they usually lead. And they usually lead with high probability. So silver, again, making a retest of the high, backing off the 20-day. Look at the GDXJ. Look at this. It's at the 200-day. It's below the 20-day. Not even close to the range highs from the spring. That is a red flag. Now you're making lower highs, lower lows. You better hold the 30 level. If not, the miners are absolutely about to get shredded, and I love it because I'll buy the shit out of the dips. And I'll tell you for a reason, like, again, that probably means the market's going to get poo-pooed. And all these people waiting for Apple to announce get stuck. And then guess what? They'll just the media will come out every day for the next 3 weeks as the market is going on, hey, it's okay. Well, maybe not 3 weeks, but you know what I mean? When the market starts dropping, they'll be like, it's okay, hold on. It's a bull market. That's what they always do. And at the lows, they'll say, oh, you gotta sell if we're going to the fucking dirt. No. Sorry, back to the GDXJ, 200-day. Watch out. Junior miners look like absolute crap, y'all. Like, that's a big problem. You need to be aware of that. You absolutely do need to be aware of that. Because the juniors are like the most risky of the gold and silver index, right? Like the components, right? The riskiest shit. Riskiest stuff. If it's not acting well, somebody's not taking on that risk. Someone knows something. AG, we talked about it bouncing up to to this VAP zone, volume point, breaking out of the trend. It's real good at it, and then failing. Watch the 20-day AEM. Same kind of stuff. Been holding up really well. Chopping, whatever you want to call it. Newmont has looked like dirt, turd, whatever you want to call it. Joe Dierte, I mean, nowhere close to the highs. Like AEM looked way better, but look at this thing. It's about to flop. Pass on it. Again, Sam, Mahmoud, you're listening, my friend. You had the dust trade lined up, teed up, and you didn't take it. Look at dust up 7.3% today. Talked about, in my mind, anything probably in the 10, 11 range was a solid buy. And this thing doubles. Holler at your boy. Taiwan Semi, another name, dead. Dead. Below the 20 and 50 day, going nowhere. Slow death, trying to hold up, but even with the market up, it can't go anywhere. Micron, we talked about this fake pop. People were shorting in the 71. We blessed that one. And again, you didn't have to, it's not rocket science. Fill the gap, little trap, long wick. Watch the 71 area fail. AMD after hours up near the 122 area. Notice where it's failing. If it fails here, I mean, easy short. Easy short with defined risk stops. Easiest, excuse my language, effing short. Back test of a trend line, maybe a little 122 action. NVIDIA. I mean, they haven't had earnings yet, but look at the tight action. I mean, watch once a 20 channel. I mean, this thing was at 110, 108, 107. Now it's at 480, and people are scared to short it. I'm like, you must be crazy. Like, that's the best time to short it. But again, define your risk. Let some levels break if you have to. Intel, we talked about this candle not being bullish. This is not what you want to see on a gap up double top retest after earnings. Oops. Watch. If we close below mid 35s, arrivederci, adios. SMH holding up. Some of the other names did okay. Choppy, double top. Remember, double tops happen sometimes, a lot. Adobe popped up, made new highs. Is this a novice gap trap? Trying to warn people. Is this novice? Apple, everyone expects it go higher into earnings. Okay, it's holding up. We'll see what happens. Again, it's rolling the dice. Same thing with Amazon. Who knows? Like the references, though. I don't mind this little candle here. If we continue lower down at 131, change. I mean, yeah, you break the 20-day. Again, going into earnings always a little trickier. Be careful. Hedge. Have your stops. Do what you need to do so that if it goes against you, you don't get destroyed. And give back gains. CRM holding 20-day. CEO is just dumping shares. Google. A lot of people are scared about this. I'm like, all right, well, I mean, you're up against some gaps and references. It might take a few days. Notice as the market is kind of held up, this thing gapped up on earnings, gone nowhere fast. It looks fine to me. Meta, same kind of thing, gaps up, chopping around, just waiting patiently. Microsoft broke support, broke the 20-day, holding the 50-day like it's got white knuckling the shit out of it. Better hold it. I'm telling you, this is a blow off top right there. This candle is goodbye, and it's not like a goodbye. NDAQ talked about the exchange being screwed because of tech will not be the trade of the future. It's going to be commodities, industrials, banks, all that stuff. Again, nobody's going to be trading tech stocks in a year from now, 18 months. I'm telling you, that exchange is proving it. MicroStrategy, 20-day, talked about it. Again, I think any significant pop is a short, in my opinion, especially if you think Bitcoin's going lower. Netflix, nice little doji today. Talked about maybe 450 area. I mean, you got to getting close. Maybe you get there. Maybe you don't. I mean, these are dead cat bounces, in my opinion. Roblox, talked about it failing in the 40s, mid 40s. Show me a 20 handle. I'll talk about it more then. Tesla, again, just breaking the 20-day. This is not leading, guys. As the market holds up, this looks like crap. It's just a matter of when, in my opinion, before it breaks. X. Again, a lot of these material names rose on China stimulus. But again, China's not stimulating because everything's great, y'all. I'm trying to warn people. It's the same thing when we start cutting rates. Like, it's not good because everything's great. Here you go. Watch these ranges. Nucor up against the highs. Cool. See what happens here. You got ranges. Again, I don't know if I'd short these, but I'd watch these. Caterpillar, look at this. Look at this. I mean, their earnings were okay, I guess. Who is buying this gap up? I know it looks great. Look at the candle. Big green boner. Big green boner. Well, haven't we shown time and time again that sometimes big green, big reds at inflection points? Let's see if there's one on Caterpillar if it has a history of this. I mean, I guess I'd have to go back to some COVID stuff. Right up at the top. Here's a gap and trap right there. I mean, I guess that green isn't as big. I would See, I thought today would actually look like this. I didn't short it today. 3-day rule, but I mean, this is the thing. If you're looking to short Caterpillar, a lot of people would probably say, well, 3-day rule or it's going higher. I would use the high of the day. I mean, I'd even say 290 as your reference. If you can get somewhere close to there, tight. Now, if this is a Livermore thing and it has to go to 300, then maybe it goes to 320, 330 because of his like numbers and how they get it. When you hit big round prices, you go a little higher. Like you hit 100, you're going to go to 110, 115. If you're climbing, you hit 200, you're going to go to 220, 225. His thing, same thing. 300, you're going to hit 320, 330. We'll see what happens here. I mean, this is interesting because this is liquidity. I don't know who is thinking global growth is now on fire, time to buy Caterpillar at the highs. We'll see. Could be wrong. I would be very suspect of today's candle. VALE, another global growth name, hits the 200. I talked about failure. Come on down, Arrow. Its name's been holding up really well. I can't argue with that. But look at the volume here. Think about like what you just saw with Caterpillar. This is what you might have tomorrow. It's like an inside day. Like Caterpillar closes the highs, but the futures are down. And again, we'll see what happens with the Fitch downgrade. But this could come. I mean, you could see Caterpillar at 285 versus like near the 289, 290 close. CCJ. Kathy Wood buying this. Best trader in the world, clearly. I said watch this yesterday. I don't like this gap up here. We'll see. We'll see. Again, I'd like materials long term, but I'm not chasing them. I mean, you got to be not an idiot, but you got to be impatient. CF 200-day. Again, all these ag names. Loved them. Take profits more. You're up. Unless you own 100-day. They all look very similar. They're getting into spots and then starting to get a little tired. Here you go. A novice gap trap. Left-right combo. Witchies. AA. Another global growth name that just seems to be stuck. Like aluminum is a global. Like Alcoa has a lot of aluminum. Look at the stock. Why is it in the 30s? Something's not right. FAS, XLF, FAS, all that stuff. Keep an eye on this stuff. We talked about, all right, if you got over 35, which again, Curran, some of the folks in the Discord room, shout out to you for calling out 30s. Now we're up here. I don't think we're getting over it. I'm sorry. I just don't think we will. Now, again, it can go over for a day or two, but like monthly, weekly stuff, I don't think it's going to close. JP Morgan, if the market gets, if his stock gets stuck, be aware. It could roll and start leading down. Morgan Stanley already leading down. I mean, every day red. Rojo. Talked about if you short it at 95, any bounce, probably an ad. If it even bounces, you got to love the straight line moves. Goldman, you got more of a reference in the mid 360s. KRE, we talked about once it bottomed here, the capitulation, we would rally. And once it got over the 100-day, said don't be surprised if you get to the, high 40s. High 40s. Now what? Be careful. XBI, we talked about this chopping around. This is lagging, though. Double bottom, oversold. Dead cat bounce. I don't know. Is it ready to go? Good old solar. Love it. Easiest short. Watch the lows here. After hours, Sedgerton is getting destroyed. ENPH, we talked about waiting for the bounce. Is it going to fail precipitously from here? I don't know. Watch these levels. It could. The 150 doesn't mean it couldn't go to 70. Sedge after hours down at 209. New lows. Piece of crap. We told you. Solar's a joke, y'all. I'm just telling you right now. I'm just telling you. Just solar. Again, oil and gas, government stuff, all this stuff. Solar cyclical, has its lifespan up and down. And then, again, the next government subsidy, special / oil rising, bull market. Yeah, the stuff will rally back, but it'll get absolutely cooked. If you don't know the past, look at First Solar. Example, First Solar when oil crashed in 2008. Stock went from $3.19 down to $11. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go to 11, but would you be happy with it a hundo? I think so. HYG, we talked about watching this. Failing range highs again. Government debt. Oil, USO, again, chopping. Chop. Hold up. We'll see what happens here. Again, I don't really like to watch these ETFs, but I'm just, again, people ask about them, so they're in here. Showed oil and gas earlier. Natural gas, just leave it alone. ExxonMobil, right? As we talked about, once it breaks the 100 level, game over. If you short it up here, this is just a big, sloppy, choppy zone. We talked about the XOP hitting resistance at 143. You got it again. You got the upside target, right? Sorry, I just skipped it. Talked about it, right? Keep an eye on this. Because oil and gas, if it rolls over, everything's going to roll over too. It's just nothing safe. Nothing safe. They throw the baby out with the bathwater. Oxy, 200-day, Buffett selling calls left and right, probably, if I had to guess. PX Dizzle. Here you go. Chop, 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 chop. Chop, chop, chop. Watch the 200-day. How it likes to get over moving averages and chop and then fail. Again, there's a lot of great trades. I'm surprised a lot of people don't hit me up about them, but I don't. If you do, I'm great. If you don't, whatever. Again, I love hearing when people are doing well. Inspires me to do more. AQT said, watch this could be a trap or it's getting up into the mid 40s. And last but not least, Flex LNG. We like this name long term. It's just wait for pullbacks. Wait for pullbacks. All right, if you got any questions, please reach out. Again, be thoughtful. Be humble. Everybody, you have to remember this, and this all ends on this. And if you stayed this far, this is probably the most important thing. Just because you were right 10 times in a row does not mean you're going to be right the 11th time in a row. Just because you're right doesn't necessarily mean you have magic touch. And this is why I always warn people, like the hardest thing in trading is when you're in a hot streak is to believe that you can lose. And when you're losing, to minimize your risk, knowing that, well, give it another try here shortly and just be okay with losing. Humility is the key in all of this. Just because you've been winning, are winning, have been right, your charts seem flawless, been there, done that. It is the most intoxicating thing ever. But the reality is what? You will be wrong at some point. So just be careful, be thoughtful, know that you can't always win. All right, I'll talk to you guys and gals later. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.